Hi there, it's Darryl here, answering any questions you might have on carbon neutrality, net zero, ESOS compliance, SECR compliance, anything like that. There's a question that came in to me yesterday, and I thought I'd just sort of spend a couple of minutes just running through it with you, because I thought it was quite interesting actually, and it highlights a couple of problems that the industry has that, because it's a new industry, we're still kind of get to grips with. And the question that one of my clients asked me is what is carbon footprint rebaselining? Okay, and that's been recommended by one of the big four, who suggested that they rebaseline their carbon footprint. And what does it actually mean? This is all to do with how you calculate a carbon footprint. Okay, there's ways and means of doing that, and the calculation methodology, which is evolving over time. Okay, so every year new standards get issued. I did a count on my desk yesterday. I've got about 19 different standards on my desk. You know, stands about that high. You know, it's if you print them, and you know, these methodologies change, these standards change, and they specify that certain things should be calculated in method A or method B using factor A or factor B. And the problem is, if you've got, let's say you've got, this is time here, and this is, for example, TCO2e, tons of carbon dioxide equivalent. Yeah, let's say you've got a plan between now and 2050 to reduce your carbon like that, and you are currently here, here, here. That's your kind of use to date. But then the methodology changes. And so when you calculate your annual consumption for this year, you come in much lower, because not because you've saved a huge amount of carbon, but because the way it's calculated has changed. So in order to make this meaningful, what you do is you go back to these readings here for the previous years, and you recalculate them based on the new standard, the new way of doing things, the new methodology. And then you don't go back and alter any of the documents, because at the time they were issued, they were correct. They stay locked away. They stay sort of, you know, locked in. We don't change those. But you go back and say, for comparison purposes, we've rebaselined these 3 years. And imagine, for example, it moves down pretty linearly. You might have that pattern there, which means that you can actually see a real drop rather than this kind of mysterious from there to there to there drop, which just looks a bit odd. So it's called rebaselining. It's becoming more common now. And I think as the standards evolve, people will need to do it more and more. If you've got automated software like PLATO, good news, you can just rerun the report. Great news. If you haven't got an automated system, then I'm afraid it's going back to whatever you used. Maybe it's Excel, maybe it's a pen and paper, and just going back and doing all those calcs again, which will be a pain in the rear end. So there you go. It's applying rebaselining is applying the current set of methodology guidelines to previous data sets for comparison purposes. There you go. Hope that was useful. If you've got any questions on ESOS, science-based targets, net zero, anything like that, send it through to me. I'll do my best to answer it. And if you like the video, hit the subscribe. And if you want to find out when we issue new videos, generally once a day, press the bell button and you'll be alerted when a new piece of net zero kind of stuff comes out. Okay, hope that was useful. See you next time.